Hi, my name is Logan. This is going to be quite a different video from my usual videos. I'm going to be making a small program where it uses Windows Task Scheduler and Windows Batch Scripting, which launches a Selenium program that interacts with the website based on the current conditions in Windows. So the programs you need is Windows, Firefox, and Selenium. So let's go down Selenium first off. If you're wondering what Selenium is, here's the best example of what it is. It's a web browser automation, so it could repeat stuff again and again and again. It's mainly used for testing. You go here, downloads, and you press whatever the version number is, and this Firefox will pop up and just allow, and then your browser needs to restart. So that's installation of Selenium. It's pretty simple. What Selenium is great at is repeating a certain task over and over. So let's say you want to log into a certain web page, and you could just say press this button, and it'll go through all this hotspot click agreements and everything. But I'm not currently connected to any hotspots, so let's do something else. So this is Firefox after Selenium is installed. Selenium's icon is right here, and when you click on it, you'll see this thing. By default, it's usually recording, and then you can actually just visit something like yahoo.com. Let's do that. And what should we do? Let's search for plums. And here we can see plums. And we can click on an article, and woohoo. And there's the article about plums, which is not that exciting, but whatever. So that's Selenium. What the great thing about Selenium is the ability to reproduce what you did. So you could just go to, let's say, Google, and let's go back to Selenium, and let's save this test case. And let's save it to our desktop, plums. And we can replay this entire situation. So open yahoo.com, it'll search for plums, and then it'll automatically go there and click on link number 2. And here's something interesting, it failed because it's not always returning 2. But anyways, that is Selenium. So you can automate like logins or whatever things you might want to repeat over and over. The thing that was most difficult for me was actually creating a Windows batch script to launch Selenium IDE by itself. So here we have the Selenium test case, and we're going to actually do a test suite, and let's save that as well. Let's call it plums tests. Plums suite. We could close out Selenium for now, and we could actually just close this for now. So what we want to do to create a batch file is actually right click on here, click on new, and text file. And let's call this plums. So what you actually see here is a text file. We don't actually want it as a text file, we want it as a batch file. To change that, we need to go to the folder options. So let's press start and then type in folder options. And we need to change the extension. Windows hides the extensions by default, so we're going to show the extensions. And we can see that .txt. In Windows, batch files are always .bat, and we just simply change it to that. Yes. If you double click on it, it will actually launch the batch file, and it does nothing. But we're going to add some text in there, so we're going to right click and click edit. Here is the batch file in Notepad. Let's say you want this batch file, or otherwise script, to run whenever Windows cannot connect to the internet. One way we could test that is doing a ping. Ping tests if an internet connection is valid or actually responds to you. So we go ping google.com. And whenever you ping Google, it will actually look like something like this. Let's open command prompt CMD, and then you can type in ping google.com. So this is what returns in pings. There's a reply from Google. So similarly, if you run just batch files like right now, and let's save it and close this, you will see exactly that. You're going to see Windows pinging Google, which is quite exciting, but we're going to edit that. We're going to ping Google, but we're going to actually add some arguments. These are called arguments, so we're going to ping it only one time. And again, you can press save, and you can double click on it and test if the file actually works. But we want to get a result from this, don't we? So we could type in if error level. So whenever you do a command in the command prompt, you'll often get a return variable. So to actually demonstrate that, we're going to go open back command prompt, or open back command prompt if I type it correctly this time, and type in ping google.com. There's an odd situation where pings actually sometimes doesn't always occur correctly. But anyways, we could see that ping was successful. To look at that, we could type in percentage error level percentage sign. Percentage signs of anything between is defined as a variable. So here, percentage sign error level percentage sign is just a variable, and it's returning 0. So let's try another website, which we know that doesn't exist. So we could do ping, we could try login sky.co. That doesn't exist. Press enter, and it's going to attempt pinging it. Doesn't exist. And we could again look back to error level, and we should get as 1. 1 means it failed. So let's go back here. So if error level 1, then we should go to fail. In Windows batch scripting, you use a lot of gotos rather than like in Java and C++, where we have functions. So this might not be a very familiar thing for some people, especially if they're programming for the first time. And gotos aren't usually the best thing to do for introductory C++ or Java classes. But anyways, here we have a goto the fails portion. But we could also catch if error level 0, that means success, go to success. It doesn't really matter whether these are uppercase or lowercase, by the way. And we could define the fail region. So if it fails, it will go to the fail line. So here it will automatically go to fail. And then we could do something called echo. Echo is just printing out text. We could echo failed. And to end this, we actually need to define the end for Windows. We type in go to EOF. Similarly, we could define success. And then we could echo success. And then we could end it with go to, oops, EOF. Save it. Let's clear this. CLS clears the command prompt. So we could drag and drop the batch files and actually press enter, and then we could see the command run. So we know Google exists, so it should return success, and that's what it did. Success. But what we really wanted to do is connect Selenium and the Windows batch scripting together. To do that, we actually need a long script. So what I'm going to be doing is just copying and pasting something I've written before. We're going to paste this. So let me try to explain this. So it opens Firefox, it runs it as a Chrome argument. When I say Chrome, it's not actually Google Chrome, it's actually an argument for Firefox. Here's Chrome, and it's going to launch the test runner in Chrome. It's going to launch the test runner in Firefox. It's going to look into a base URL, into the localhost. Localhost is this computer. It's going to look in the C, call it C, and the Selenium, and then I call it a cable Wi-Fi sign-on test suite. So what we would actually do is create something similar, and I try to do it without any spaces. And let's do that. I am a terrible speller, so yeah. I hope I spelled that right. We're going to put in the test suite and the test into the Selenium folder. And what we're going to actually do is actually right click on that and rename it and copy it. And we're going to rename this Selenium. So what we're going to do is fill this out. So what we're going to do is just change this to the suite. And I believe this one doesn't actually have HTML, so I'm going to remove that. And the argument auto equals to true means whenever this line runs, it's gonna launch Selenium and run the task, or run the test. Save it. And because Google exists, it doesn't actually run Selenium. But let's say let's cause a failure. So let's right click and edit the plum bat again, and let's ping me. logankai.co. Save that, and let's run again. You can press up to go back to the last thing you ran. It's gonna ping Logan, it doesn't exist, so it's gonna run this Selenium. And Selenium is gonna run this test suite, and it's gonna attempt to run that. And of course, you might get this error. Firefox can't open this connection because it's trying to access localhost. If you notice, it's actually trying to access localhost. So instead, you will actually need to edit your Selenium script with your full path. So let's go back to Selenium and open the old case. And this time I moved it somewhere, so I need to open it there. We're going to change this to yahoo.com. The easiest thing is just to copy and paste that. Save it and close it. And we could try this thing again. It opens this, and we should see it going to yahoo.com. Types in plum, and loads plums automatically. So that's Selenium. But then now let's make this automated. To make it automated, the simplest way is to use Windows Task Scheduler, and to access that, you just type in Task Scheduler, and you have Windows Task Scheduler that will open. So this is Windows Task Scheduler. Let's make it a little bit bigger, and you can press on Library. Here are the current tasks I have, and most of them are just Adobe and Google. To create a new task, I usually just right click and just press basic task, or you can just go right here and press create basic task. Name it whatever you want, and let's name it plum search. Press next, and let's do it daily. We're crazy. We're going to launch this at 3:35 in 16 seconds. Now let's do it 3:35. Next, start a program. It's going to launch this automated script. Next. And I actually want to configure it. Press finish. Windows 7. You might want it hidden, or you might not want it hidden. If your script ever does something that requires administrative privileges, you need to check that. And this is pretty much it. You could modify the triggers, and let's say you want to run it every 5 minutes to test if your internet connection is still up. Oops, not that one. This one. Every 5 minutes for a duration of infinity, and press OK. There's general. You need to change it to Windows 7 because this is Windows 7. And you can press OK. And then at 7:35, we're going to see this task run automatically. So it's 7:34 and 53 seconds, so in about 5 seconds, it's going to open the Windows Task Scheduler. It's just going to make a flimp. Yep, there it is. It was late a few seconds. And then here's Selenium, and does a Yahoo search for plums automatically. So that's the tutorial of using Task Scheduler, Firefox, and Selenium to do automated tasks, and probably with the fewest coding skills you probably need. If you ever need a little bit more advanced Windows coding skills, or Windows batch scripting, you could usually just Google it and find what you want. Alright, thanks for watching. If you like this, you can give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, you could tell me why, and then I will try to fix that. And if you like it, you might want to subscribe too. But it might not always be about these videos. Alright, thanks for watching.